Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit ActiveDay.com to apply.
She is sure, she is sure, she is strong, she is strong, she is true, she is true. She is brave, she is brave, she is bold, she is bold. She is you, she is you, she is you, she is you. She is sure, she is sure, she is strong, she is strong, she is true, she is true. She is brave, she is brave, she is bold, she is bold. She is you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Word of Mom Radio here on the Word of Mom Media Network. I'm your host, Dori DeCarlo, and you know we have been here breaking those myths that mompreneurs and businesswomen, especially those of us building our businesses from home, that we're just dabbling in between bake sales and getting our nails done. We're not. We are smart, we are savvy, and we're in our 13th season of sharing the wisdom of women in business and in life, and I'm looking forward to this week's Coaching Corner. Cheryl Polk is a master certified life and career coach, recruiter, and former corporate accountant and homeschool mom who has helped over 3,000 clients gain work-life balance, improve life and career satisfaction, and transition into careers they love. She understands that it's not just about how you start, but how you finish. Cheryl specializes in career identification, skills development, career transitions, interview preparation, and personal branding strategies for students and adults at all career levels and stages. She's now an empty nester who lives in Nashville, Tennessee with her husband and enjoys staying active in her church and community, and I'm sure doing a lot of giving back. So with all that being said, Cheryl, welcome to Word of Mom Radio.
Thanks, Dori, for having me. Glad to be here.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. So I would love for you to take us on your journey from recruiter and corporate accountant, love that you were a homeschooler, to now being a certified life and career coach.
Sure. So once I graduated college, like so many people, I did not have a career lined up or anything. I didn't have any internships. So I had to start from the bottom. So I started off working as a temporary employee, making minimum wage. But the good thing is I got in with a large size company. So within 5 years, I worked my way up from minimum wage temp to be over the general accounting department for a division of a Fortune 500 company. And I enjoyed every moment of it. And then I had children and I decided I wanted to stay at home with my children. So I became a stay-at-home mom and eventually a homeschool mom, and had several little gigs that I did working from home during that time. And I know to a lot of people working from home is fairly new, but not for moms. We've been working from home for quite a while now. So we already know about remote working and that type of thing. And we've had those type of networks in place for a while. And then in 2013, I decided to just go out there and look and see what was out there. And I discovered a remote recruiting role. And I said, this looks pretty interesting. So I decided to apply. I applied on a Friday. And to my surprise, they called me on Monday and actually hired me. And so that's how I made that career transition. And I actually really enjoyed it. But the thing I didn't enjoy was the fact that I had so many qualified applicants that I could not pass along to hiring managers because their resumes were awful. So I ended up spending more time doing that a lot of times than doing recruiting. And I ended up becoming a certified professional resume writer and then eventually a certified career coach, and worked for the largest resume writing company, not just in the United States, but in the world. And while working there, I realized that they were so big that a lot of their resumes were cookie cutters and they weren't able to really strategize about what was best for the client. And so I thought, wow, I think I can do this better at a better price point. And so that's what I did. And so I started Excel Resumes and career coaching, and we've helped over 3,000 plus clients, and I've really enjoyed it.
It's amazing because resumes now are so different than when we were growing up and people were doing resumes. So for now, how do you help people stand out to those job seekers when so many people are now applying online?
Yes. So, well, there are certain things called applicant tracking systems. And so with the applicant tracking systems, a lot of times resumes are filtered based on keywords. So my experience with being a recruiter really helps me be able to identify some of those important keywords to add to resumes. And then also one important thing that I like to stress to clients is to make sure that they don't list only just tasks and generic tasks and responsibilities, but they list quantifiable achievements. They don't want to just know, oh, you're a great salesperson. They want to know, oh, I brought in 5 new clients and increased sales $200,000 this quarter. So that's what we try to do. Make sure we have resumes that are action-based and that get through the applicant tracking systems into the hands of an actual hiring manager.
As that happens, then how do you help them how do you answer the tough questions and the different things that, again, are going to make you stand out and not make you seem like you're giving a cookie cutter answer?
Yes, the important thing for that is making sure you develop your storytelling skills. So knowing how to just not give a generic answer, because the thing is, generic answers will put you in that second or third spot. They'll make the recruiter say, she was okay, but I want to kind of see more candidates. So you really want to be able to refine those stories and be able to tell the situation, the task, the action taken, and the results. So the STAR method. So in that way, it will help you keep your answers strategic and also consistent and clear. And then also make sure you don't do too much rambling. So they help you kind of guide you as far as your answers. But yes, really making sure you refine those stories will really help you stand out.
In the whole personal branding aspect of things, when you are interviewing, because even then there has to be, again, that certain way for you to stand out. How do you work with people on that, Cheryl?
Yeah, so as far as your personal brand, what we do, like we have a 4-step, 12-week career transition program that we do. And then so we take you through 4 steps. And the first one is discovery. And that's basically learning about the who and the why. So learning about you, your personality, your background, your strengths, the things that make you unique. And then that will really help us to be able to hone in on that personal brand. And then also step 2 is investigation. And then finding out that what would you like to do? We explore different career options, career paths. We also talk about how to turn those side hustles that a lot of times we as moms have into full-time careers. And then next we go to the planning stage, which helps us to address the when and the where. We really help you devise actionable steps and a roadmap so you can go from, point A to point B. And then also, lastly, we have an execution phase where we talk about the how. We really look at the beginning steps of the execution and implementing it and seeing, do we need to make any changes, kind of refining the plan. So that's really the 4 steps that we do as far as career transitions.
So somebody who's listening and who's thinking about pivoting into a new industry mid-career, because so many people now are doing that pivot, what do you have to say to them? What kind of advice do you have that you can share with them?
Yes, I would like to say gain focus and don't be afraid to ask for help, because a lot of times, when we have children who are turn 18 or maybe going off to college, we have them choose a major, and it's really stressful because they think, oh man, I have to choose one thing that I'm going to do for the rest of my life, when really that's not the case. Most people change jobs at least 4 to 5 times. They, change fields. And so the thing is, I had my children think about think about their college major as career 1. So what would you like career 1 to be? And that takes off the pressure. And then that's, lets them to know, okay, it's okay if I change my mind. So, it's okay to change your mind, get that focus. And it's also okay to ask for help, because a lot of times we don't really challenge ourselves. We don't dig deep. So when you have a coach, we ask those challenging questions, those self-reflecting questions to help people really dig into the who, what, when, where, why, and how.
I find it so interesting because you were saying earlier about many people have already been working from home, and then other people. I think that COVID, as somebody, I've been a mompreneur since 1994. So I've been working from home since last century. And I really think that COVID opened a lot of people's eyes to how productive you can be, not in an office with people constantly at your desk and everything else. And even though you may have your children and family to deal with, you're still getting more done. So how do you help people when they're transitioning into that, going more remote? Is there a whole other set of skills that they have to be working on?
Well, if you're going from the workplace to remote, yes, you definitely have to make sure you get your technology in place. You have to get a laptop, make sure you have a great internet connection. And then also you have to make sure a lot of times people kind of fake it till they make it as far as scheduling and organization. So you might have to get a little bit more organized if you're not used to doing that. And so, getting organized, getting your technology in place, and then making sure you get a good plan. And then also too, just making sure you still stay connected. Just because you are remote does not mean you still can't attend team meetings. It doesn't mean you still can't. A lot of times now they have a lot of virtual parties and things like that to try to still make sure people stay connected to people who are working in the office. So I would say just make sure you're staying connected, make sure you stay up to date on that technology, and then just making sure that you stay organized.
On that note, think of what Cheryl just said. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to say thank you to our sponsors, and we'll be back here in just a moment on Word of Mom Radio. She is brave, she is bold, she is you, and we want to tell your story. Are you ready to share your journey with us on Word of Mom Radio? Go to wordofmomradio.com and register as a guest. We want to tell your story because when you win, we all win.
In 2017, Unsilenced Voices was formed to help survivors of domestic abuse and gender-based violence worldwide. The organization currently serves Sierra Leone, Rwanda, Ghana, and the USA. In 2022, Unsilenced Voices gifted over $33,000 to survivors in the USA, and in Sierra Leone, there are over 26 young girls who have been rescued from sex trafficking and domestic abuse and now going through vocational training school in order to better their lives. We need your help. Donations are critical in order for us to continue our work. We also need volunteers to help with research and development. Please visit unsilencedvoices.org for more information.
And we're back here on Word of Mom Radio talking with Master Certified Life and Career Coach Cheryl Polk. And we're just talking about, as you are working from home and doing hybrid work and things like that, the things that you need to do to keep yourself organized, because people are under that misnomer very often that you're working from home, you're watching TV, you're getting the laundry done. They don't realize, I think, very often the discipline it takes for some people to work from home because of all of the other things that can come up when you are home. When you work with people in helping them with that focus and things, what do you find? Do you find that there's a commonality of what they struggle with and then what they seem to master faster?
I do. I think sometimes moms believe that they can they can do it all, which, we can do it all, but if you do it all, it's hard to do everything at 100%. So that's the thing. So when you're working from home, depending on what type of work from home position it is, it's okay if you have to get someone to come in and watch the kids. A lot of times people think, oh, I can still watch the kids and do this at the same time, when sometimes that's not feasible, especially if they're small, because you might have meetings to attend, and then they may, if it's a baby, they may start crying, or you may, toddlers and that type of thing. And you don't want, and what that brings on is that mommy guilt, right? It makes us feel bad. We feel like, oh, we're not being a great mom. And then we also have the guilt of feeling like we're not being a great employee. So it's okay if you need to bring in a mom's helper or that type of, that type of person to help you during the day so you can have that dedicated workspace and that dedicated work time.
It's funny you saying the mother's helper, because growing up, I was the mother's helper to a woman with 5 kids so she could play tennis and go out with her friends and not have to be at the town pool with her kids. So it's interesting to me that most moms are much more comfortable hiring somebody to watch their kids so they can go play than they are when they have to work. Have you found that? Because I see it quite often.
Wow, that is that is interesting. I think things are starting to evolve. There used to be some guilt involved, and I think in hiring mom's helpers and then people to help you with cleaning the house and cooking and that type of thing. But I think now with so many things, with so many meal prep services and all the things that we have available now, I think more people are starting to know that, okay, it's okay if I need to ask for help.
In looking at the job market out there and all of the challenges, how can job seekers stay competitive in this?
Yeah, so you definitely want to make sure you stay up to date on industry trends. So things are always changing. Technology is changing. A lot of times they have additional certifications and training opportunities that are available. So you want to make sure you are doing that. Also making sure you stay on top of influencers in your field, whether it's YouTube or reading the latest blogs, also looking at press releases, making sure you're watching the news. So just really making sure you're staying on top every way that you can, because yeah, like you said, it is very competitive. So making sure you have, the most training that you can have, and just do your research. See if there's additional education as well that you may need to seek. So just making sure you do your research and obtain any type of additional schooling, knowledge, certifications, and training available.
Do you see any kind of a trend towards the new careers that people are drifting towards, Cheryl?
Yes. So people are going for a lot more creative careers now. It used to be a time where, you would think that there used to be a time where artists and those type of people, they only had one type of perception of what they could do with their craft. And now they're starting to be more creative. They're starting to go on more sites and be listed on more apps. And so there's starting to be more opportunities out there for people in creative fields. And so I think that's the trend. Also, data analytics is huge now with AI and machine learning. So much is around data. And so many people, like my degree is in accounting. And if I had gotten that degree now, I think I probably have a totally different perspective on how I would use it. I think I probably would go more into that data analytics space, because that's really a big industry now. So yes, definitely people are really doing different things and being more creative with their creativity, and then also with the data analytics as well.
I find it so interesting because, again, I was an executive assistant and the IBM Selectra had just come out, which, for those of you who don't know what that is, that was actually a typewriter that had the eraser in it. So if you made a mistake, it had the whiteout in it that you could go back. And it was the biggest thing that ever happened for anybody that worked in an office. So it's so amazing for me to watch the transition as you say, how do you stay competitive? Looking at the influencers and things like that, and how much social media and AI has now come into play when it comes to your career. It's got to be very challenging. And for you, how do you stay on top of all of these different things to be able to continue to coach and work with your clients, Cheryl?
Great question. Well, I still do recruiting. I still, once a year, I definitely make sure I try to pick up a little small contract, because there are so many things that change. Like right now, a big thing that's out now for hiring are the video interviews. So I don't mean just Zoom or, that type of thing. I mean actually recording the video. They have a system where the person asks you a question, and then there's a little pause, then it's a countdown, and then you have to record yourself on the video. And those things can be great for someone maybe who's introverted, and then actually talking to someone and making eye contact can be distracting for them. But it can be hard for people who are extroverted, and they need that person there to really bounce their energy off of and really, get them motivated to answer the question. So I like to stay on top by staying out there in the field as a recruiter, knowing about those applicant tracking systems, knowing how that technology is changing, knowing how the interview process is changing, and then of course staying out there on LinkedIn and networking with professionals as well. So that's how I definitely like to stay updated on my craft for sure.
I worked with somebody who was brilliant, spoke brilliantly. As soon as that camera went on, the complete freeze, the absolute complete freeze. So I suggested to her, I said, do yourself a favor, put your camera on, turn it on in the morning when you're making breakfast, and talk to the camera about what you're doing. That you're making breakfast, you're doing this, as you're in your office, as you're organizing this. Get used to just having it on, and you're just talking. And that way you're not focused on the fact that blue light just went on, the light's blinking, it's on. and the umming and the like and the starts to happen. So it's amazing to me that even people who are naturally gregarious and outgoing and extroverted, that light goes on and it becomes that thing. So have you seen that happen with any of the people you work with?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It happens a lot during mock interviews. We do mock interviews, and a lot of people just freeze. And my mock interviews are actually a lot of times over the phone. They're not even face-to-face via Zoom. And even over the phone, a lot of people freeze up and they say, I'm sorry, I'm just so nervous. I'm so nervous. And so, yes, they do. And part of being nervous, I think, is the lack of preparation. So, more preparation can help take out some of that nerves, just like you were saying for her, to make sure she turned on that camera to get used to talking to the camera. So yes, if people do that type of preparing, they prepare, that helps them to get a little bit of those nerves out.
Cheryl, as we're starting to wrap up, what would you like to leave our listeners with as they're out there thinking of transitioning into something new, or they're just getting started in their career? Because you work with high school and college graduates and things like that. What would you like to say to them, and how may they reach out to you?
Yes, I would like to say mindset determines movement. So the big thing is just making sure that you stay open to the process, and just to knowing that, there are bigger and better things out there for you. And one way is to really get out there and to research and to think about your past and some things that bring you joy. And so, a lot of times we think about the past, we think about our pain and our challenges and how we've overcome things, and how we can use those things to help people as well. So, and this also too, I would just like to say it is okay to reach out and ask other people for help. And people can reach out to me and ask me for help if they would like. And I'm at excel-resumes.com. I do give free resume analysis, so they can just go to the Contact Us page and, upload their resume, get that free resume analysis. So they can, we empower them to be able to do it themselves, or they can hire us to help as well. So either way, we're here to help.
I want to say to those moms out there that are thinking as they're trying to get back into the workforce that, oh my gosh, I've been home raising kids all these years. Please do not forget to add in your skill sets that you understand organizing, scheduling, conflict resolution, budgeting, all of these things that women don't realize they do on a daily basis running a household. And that these really are skill sets that you are bringing with you when you are out there working with new people.
Yes, that's very true. Very true.
Yeah, and it's exciting. I love what Cheryl's doing because being able to have somebody that is going to help you in that coaching capacity of in that transition, that accountability, all of the wonderful things that coaches do. So I really encourage you to reach out to Cheryl. We're going to have all of her links live on Word of Mom Radio. And I want to thank you so much, Cheryl, for coming by and sharing your journey with us.
Thank you for having me, Dori. It's been fun.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. And for all of you tuning in, I want to thank you for being here. We're going to close out with our fabulous theme song from Smith Sisters and the Sunday Drivers. So till next time, this is Dori DeCarlo saying go out and create a marvelous you. Bye for now.
She is sure. She is sure. She is strong. She is strong. She is true. She is true. She is brave. She is brave. She is bold. She is bold. She is you. She is you. She is you. She is you. She is sure. She is sure. She is strong. She is strong. She is true. She is true. She is brave. She is brave. She is bold. She is bold. She is you. She is you. She is you. She is you. Sure of herself, yeah, she takes care of biz. Powerful and strong, yeah, she knows who she is. Has integrity, woman strong and true. You know her by name. See, this woman is you. She is sure. She is sure. She is strong. She is strong. She is true. She is true. She is brave. She is brave. She is bold. She is bold. She is you. She is you. She is you. She is you. She is sure. She is sure. She is strong. She is strong. She is true. She is true. She is brave. She is brave. She is bold. She is bold. She is you. She is you. She is you. She is you. Adds value and hope. Has proved to be brave. See, it's never too late. Never time to behave. Reaching for dreams. Doesn't matter the age. Believes in herself. Unleashed from her cage. She is sure. She is sure. She is strong. She is strong. She is true. She is true. She is brave. She is brave. She is bold. She is bold. She is you. She is you. She is you. She is you. She is sure. She is sure. She is strong. She is strong. She is true. She is true. She is brave.